Hey gents, it's me, Tomato here, this time with the combat mission PBEM. I believe this one is called Closing the Gap, or Linking Up and Breaking Out. We're smashing that Falaise pocket close at Fanboise, where the Germans are trying to escape like hell, and the US 90th Infantry Division, that's these gents, and some Polish guys, that's these gents, I'll look up their official name in just a bit, are trying to slap the town of Fanboise right here shut. The Jerrys are retreating along this road to Trun, and we're coming in close. So we've scheduled for 3 mortar barrages, one at the school. I know I'm horrible, shoot me. One on this little roadway, just because it's, I don't know, it's kind of hard to get to. Looks like where I'd put an ambush, so I figured I'd put some explosives in it. And one along this roadway, though this one's a little bit early, and this one is mainly to prevent German reinforcements from rushing along this road and being able to get into Fanboise quickly. They'll have to go through the sides, though I suspect they might. Also, part of the reason why it's here and not out here, or along this little wood line right here, out of respect, mostly, for not shooting up his troops in their beginning positions, because that would be a dick move. Now, most of what we have to do is just create a solid, contiguous line through Fanboise and prevent any German attacks from striking through Trun to Grasse. Grasse? And, of course, the main road of attack for that would be this one right here. So it'll be critical that we take Fanboise center and are able to cut this road. I suspect there's German defenders all the way along the road here and here, as well as German defenders on the outskirts over here around places like the school and the bridge to prevent the Americans from punching through. So that means it falls to the Poles to be the quickest, since the Americans are probably going to get stalled over here at this river. At least that is what I expect. Though it is possible, definitely possible, that it's definitely possible that the Americans could break through if they could just punch across the dive bridge quickly, across the dive river. So we'll go ahead and watch the Americans first, because it's the bloodiest. So we start off, I have 2 recce jeeps. Well, I'm calling them reconnaissance jeeps. They're really multi-purpose vehicles, but they've got a machine gun on them, and they're really only useful for reconnaissance. And reconnaissance vehicles, M8, armored cars. We're assaulting with 1st Platoon, who's going to go ahead and assault and try and take the school objective quickly. I'm giving them about a 10-minute time limit to do that. You can already hear them shooting at us. And here you'll get to see our first casualty. And just as he passes the road sign, our first armored car gets violently introduced to a German machine gun, and everyone inside of it gets shot. Though this does belie their position and let us know that they're in there, which is nice. Seconds later, this guy pops around the corner and just gets completely destroyed. And by completely destroyed, I mean the gunner gets shot. But around that time, our armored car, which is advancing over these wheat fields right here, spots the Germans, pops a shot in there. Meanwhile, I believe a mortar lands right nearby, which should serve to suppress them. So at the end of this turn, we're doing quite well on the American flank. We've lost 2 jeeps, but that was honestly to be expected, and that was more just to get this ambush the hell out of the way. Though I probably should have hung back and just fired. Meanwhile, the Poles over here are moving up to take up defensive positions and set up a base of fire along this little hedgerow right here, with these half-tracks providing fire support. And I'm gonna be honest, I just managed to just nail this guess. I guessed there'd be a guy inside this house, and I was totally right, and that's the entire reason the Polish, troops are alive right now, is because I'm good at guessing. On occasion. So there you see him, he's popping some fire in there. It's probably like the 2nd rifleman, or the 1st rifleman in the commander's squad. That's the 2nd in command over there, advancing his half-track slowly with the rest of the troops. Take a look at this guy. 5 seconds left. We'll go ahead and watch this guy as he advances with the other Tommies, or the Poles. So they're moving up to set up, and that's the last burst from that half track. And give them enough time, anyone will stand back up and shoot, despite how many guns there are pointed at their face. So the Poles set up there, and the Germans immediately snapped the guy off the half-track's gun. But luckily our Poles are quick on the trigger and quick with their eyes, and they managed to spot the Jerrys real quick. So we'll probably completely obliterate this position soon. Plus, not to mention the half-tracks in the back. We will be having intense 50 caliber fire coming down this location very soon. Meanwhile, mortar in the back. Oh, I have a Skype call going in the back. I had that person muted a bit. We'll just deal with it. I'll probably have this half-track rush up quickly. So let's go ahead and deal with this turn. So being aware of potential Panzerfaust ambushes is a good thing to keep in mind. Once again, I do kind of apologize for that in the background. And we'll go ahead and try and rush this car in quickly. Because I want to get some fire down right over there. Oh, right over there as soon as possible into the back. Because I suspect that there's also someone back there. Once we get these Americans here, we'll probably try and flank right through these wood line up to here and then storm the house. Though I do also have some troops coming up that way. But since no one's taken any shots from over there, we'll go ahead and assume that this area is more or less a bit clearish and set up there. How long do we have on those mortars, gentlemen? Gotta find someone who's moderately important. 6 minutes. It's 9 minutes. On that one, 13 minutes down the road, and 6 minutes on the school. Alright, just want to know that so I know how long I have to set up. Alright, so that's most of the American moves, is we're going to move to right there. These guys are going to move to contact. Or hopefully move to contact. Set up right here. And then, actually, let's just see where a good... I just want to see which one of these is a good place to shoot from. Actually, we could move until we're up here and assault forward like that. Meanwhile, firing on them, and hopefully that suppressive fire is enough to keep their heads down. These guys will move up towards there like that. But most of the platoon will actually probably try and sneak around this left flank. We'll clear out these few houses, since no one's really bothered us from them. I suspect no one's in there. And if they are, they'll soon introduce themselves. And we'll deal with that. Now over here with the Poles. This guy just got shot, so he's freaking out a bit. We'll go ahead and change it so he's just backing up to there. And so that's the second in command. So we're going to go ahead and have this Jeep pound the crap out of that area. Or Jeep half-track, sorry. And while he backs up, maybe, if he's feeling cocky, you can stop opening up. No? Okay. I suppose there's technically no gunner right now. And let's see if he's got the range on it. Yep, they do. These two gents are able to see him. And I want these guys to bound their way forward across the field, and they'll try and clear out that, what's that, first section? They're our least incompetent Polish unit. They're also our anti-tank unit. And they're also going to take that area. Alright, boys, to the front. Maybe. It's not yet time for mortars. I have no great need for them yet. We'll probably set them up somewhere. It'd be great if we could get the mortar, we say, here. I'm also contemplating sneaking around to the back, around the back side of the village, and trying to set up a roadblock along this way, or an ambush along the back of the village, and just completely forgetting about Fanboise. But I forget what my missions are. Preserve the castle keep. Yeah, but destroying Axis units is my highest one. And occupying my train objectives. But I suppose if they're trying to escape, we could just destroy them like that. Or at least a large majority of them. Oh, there's a church here. I didn't like that. I didn't notice that, I mean. See if I can, there we are. It's little objective markers. I'll just turn those off so we can see the town as it is. It's a really quaint looking town. Alright, so over here, it seems quite clear that there are no Panzerfaust ambushes. So this gentleman can continue his charge at great speed. And we'll move him up so that he sits here. You could just face that way. Those mortars will stay set up in the back. They don't have any radio contact right now. Might move a company over there just so that we can get mortar contact with at least one mortar who can sit back there. But likely once they're done with their missions, they'll load up and move forward to catch up with whoever's doing whatever. And we'll probably use their cars as scouting vehicles with scouting detachments. I'm looking for ways to cut this line early, or harass the line early. And maybe if some troops were deployed over here, but it looks like the brush is just too thick, we wouldn't be able to do it. Though maybe a scout car over here would be able to poke his eyes through and either give us some prior warning, or get us some casualties prior to any of that crazy shit happening. And if they're bringing trucks or something down, we could do that. So we might actually do that with this guy instead. And just bust his ass over here. But once again, this is it's a housed area, and I don't want to waste any resources wandering off into housed areas. Though there is a ford here. So it's worth noting that they can cross the road, with infantry forces at least, over here, and cross the river over towards this way from this direction. So it'll be important to remember that, and keep this area covered with some sort of machine gun or armored car fire. Probably armored car. We'll probably position an armored car right around here-ish or something. And when someone sneaks up on it, the armored car will technically have snuck up on them as well. But yeah, there's a lot of open terrain for the Germans to push up from Trun. But they are kind of hemmed in by this little roadway. So, to buy myself some time for this video, I'm going to go ahead and take little guesses at what I would do with the German strategy. So, any sort of armor, which I suspect is probably trying to escape, I would probably wind up just rushing down the road, because there's not really many places to get it out here, and there's hedgerows all over this area. Though, if I wanted to be a pain in the ass, I could bring the armor out here, and maybe stick them in guarding positions over here, if you can see down that way. Or maybe I'd rush it up this way, and have some armor here, looking through the orchard, and down that way. Yeah, this would be a good spot. Makes a little kill box there, little kill box there. All that centered around a single point here. So that'd be a good position for armor, so we'll want to get eyes on there quickly. Who can see this? And just, you know, make sure it's clear of any tanks. Meanwhile... Okay, and infantry is another question, because infantry can move quite easily. Infantry might set up a defensive line along here and try and push this way and cut through that way, because the infantry, if they can cut that way, could be an attack over here, which if they secure this area, they could shove tanks through and through. 'Cause technically that is an open route. There's a little dirt path here, so we'd do well to identify all objectives that they could cross through. So you could take the dirt road there, but that's unlikely. The main road is probably the preferred route, and it's probably what he's looking at right now. I bet he could also take the road over the Dive River into there, but as soon as we secure the school, that cuts that. So, really, I think our first priority is to take the school. That's the Americans' first priority, because once we do that, we cut the road to that place. We basically cut the Dive River Road, and we barely even need to take the bridge to secure the area. We just need to take the bridge to put pressure on the Jerrys. We need to preserve the castle keep, which is interesting, because I suspect that means that there's somebody in the castle keep. And how much does that give us? That's not that much, to be honest. We could, just blow it up, if we need to. It's not that important. I'm gonna make sure these guys all have eyes on. Yep, they do. You guys are gonna be ordered to cover that, to fire on that guy, just in case you decide to stop shooting for some reason. Platoon headquarters, I just want you to head on up here real fast. And it looks like good, their Bren gunners at least seen the area, so that'll work out quite well. Don't have too much else to say, so I'll see you all in the next part, whichever part that may be. Till then, good day.